Thank you very much, Frank. I hope this is not, what I'm going to say is not going to be famous last words. It's just a farewell for the time being, I would say. For the past few years, and in fact it's been since, I'm just trying to get my slide, since 2008, UNICA and BES, together with, of course, the European Commission and also all the colleagues from the Tempus office, we have been running these training seminars. Is there anybody here who was at the first training seminar in Vienna in 2008? Oh yes, indeed. Well, when we started out in 2008 in Vienna, in fact, it was a big challenge because we did not really know which kind of format to choose and how to find a proper way of training, as it was then, the Bologna experts. I have brought with me one of the slides that I presented at the first meeting in Vienna. It was called BETS then, which was Bologna Experts Training Seminar on lifelong learning. So that was, you see, that was a couple of years ago. And I looked, in fact, through what we at that time thought to be the major tasks and the major profiles of Bologna experts. And if you go through that, you will see that the role of the experts, and I'm now not talking about Bologna experts, but we are talking about what I would call European higher education reform experts. They always have had to mediate between different worlds. Between the world of the European level, which means grasping, understanding, knowing, having good knowledge of everything that happens at that level, be it at the Commission, be it with the Bologna follow-up group, and so on. Then, of course, there is the national level with ministries, with national Bologna follow-up groups, with all sorts of rectors' conferences, stakeholder conferences. So there is the translation from the European to the national level, with particular framework conditions. And of course, and I would say most importantly, there is the institutional level, the level of the higher education institutions with the various groups inside the institutions. And the big challenge for the experts is, in fact, to be able to mediate between these three levels. And this is what I would say the key role is, translating modernization concepts. I'm not talking about Bologna concepts alone, because that, I think, that is not the focus any longer. But translating these concepts into the national circumstances, advising at the national and especially at the institutional level. And that needs the ability to, in fact, speak different languages. The language at the European level is different from the language at the institutional level. The level and the faculty of law is different from the language of the faculty of humanities or of, I don't know, the faculty of natural sciences. And this translating ability, this ability to speak and to come to terms with these different languages, in fact, is one of the key competencies that I think all of our higher education or modernization agenda, or whatever you call it, experts have. And in the course, I think it's been one of the major and very, very important steps to fuse the training seminars for the so-called Bologna experts with the training seminars of the higher education reform experts. And this is why this community is a modernization community for higher education in Europe, I would say. And this can be done only with the high level of knowledge and expertise that you have. So you see that basically what we mapped out in 2008 is still valid today. Of course, focus has changed, but I think the basics have remained. And I feel extremely privileged that I have had the chance of chairing all meetings but one. I got to know so many of you. I think we exchanged lots of ideas. We learned so much from each other over the past few years. A high level of expertise has been built up inside this community, and I would appeal to all the people responsible to make use of this body of knowledge, of this body of experts, and find a way of how we will be able to move on. It's a really good community. I would suggest, and I do hope that in the kind of gap that we are going to have, which is natural since the programs are going to change, formats are going to change, that make as much use as possible of the virtual community. Let's not lose the good communication that we have been building up over the years, and I'm sure we will find a new way. We will find a new way of collaborating in the future. So my personal thanks to all of you who have been so actively contributing to this major tasks that we are performing, and I'm sure this is not the last farewell, but just a kind of interim farewell until we meet again and continue our work. So thank you very much. If I can get a microphone. Wait. I would just like to continue to thank our local hosts. As you all know, and the newcomers may not know, but I'm telling you now, you'll see the famous farewell ceremony of our seminars is giving Belgian chocolates to the local organizers, always on the list drawn up by Giorgio together with the local organizers. So may I first ask the Vice Chancellor of International Relations, Asunción Martínez de Brión, to the floor. Thank you very much for all you have done to make this seminar a success.
Thank you. Well, it's been a pleasure for us to host you, members of UNICA, European representatives, and dear colleagues. What Frank did not know was Frank, is that we not only planned for hotels, meals, but also prayed every day to God to have good weather. And even more, we let Germany win the football match. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Then I would like to ask, two ladies, Matilde Delgado, the Director of the International Relations and Mobility Office, and Patricia Pedraz, the Coordinator for Exchange Student Programs. Okay. So we're just going to get Patricia, who is working outside, as usual. So I would like to thank both of you for making things run so smoothly, helping us with all the technical problems and everything. Now, in view of the economic crisis of Europe, there's just one box of chocolate for the two of you. For the two of you, okay. So thank you very much indeed. Thank you. And no successful conference without student helpers and coordinators, so may I also ask all the student helpers and also our technicians, Pablo and Julian, who helped us. Can you just come down? We have a small present for you as well. We'll see about that. Okay. Okay. So where are the students? Los estudiantes, por favor. Yeah. Wait a second. Come on. So, this is for you. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's give a big applause. Okay, and this is the end of the conference. Thank you. I cannot perform a flamenco for you, unfortunately. Okay, so thank you. Have a safe trip back, and let's meet again as soon as possible. Thank you.